Welcome back to the Nerd Cave. I'm your host Travis, and on this week's episode of Save Toys, we're going to be doing another segment of What I Think. Now, for those new to the channel, the What I Think segments are where I give my thoughts on things related to superheroes, comic books, and/or action figures. With the one caveat, you can totally think something different than me. Matter of fact, I encourage a different opinion. It makes for great conversation. And today's topic, how to create your own action figure collection. And hey, while you're here, subscribe by hitting that subscribe button just under the screen. And with that out of the way, let's talk some plastic people. Just like Santa Claus on December 25th, another episode of Save Toys come and gone. Welcome back to the review booth, where we're going to talk about how to start your own custom action figure collection. Now, like I said in the Nerd Cave, these are what I think. These are not hard, fast rules that you have to abide by. This is just some suggestions and ideas. Now, the first thing you got to ask yourself is, what kind of collection do I want? And there's many ways to go about creating a collection. For instance, on the back of a lot of action figures, it'll have what they call a wave. And some people are completists and they want to collect that wave. This is a little bit different. This is more of a custom collection. So the next question you have to ask is, am I going to be an opener or am I going to keep them in the package? And with being a YouTube host, I have to do a little bit of both. I open figures for reviews a lot of times, and I really love the package. And as we talk about a lot of times in the review booth, I have this scale, the more difficult it is to open the figure, the better the package is. The easier it is just to rip it open, the less likely I am to like the package that it came in. Now, for this collection, I'm going to do it as a closed collection. So again, you can do it either which way. That's just for this one. Now, we're going to start with this guy. This is a Masters of the Universe collection. And this is our central piece. It's going to be with He-Man. And this is the centerpiece of our collection. Let me get this box out of the way. And let me tell you what I mean by that. I decided for this collection that I'm going to collect He-Man and different variants of He-Man, the ones that I wanted. And very quickly, I do want to say this He-Man was donated to the channel by the Save Toys Premium member, Gerald Mercer. And this is vitally important to what we're going to talk about. This is our central piece, our beginning point, because it's very difficult to have variations of an action figure without the one that they are variants of. So I actually got him last, but he's actually the most important piece that I have. Now, a lot of times to review the figure, I'm going to open them up, but this time I'm not. And as I was talking about earlier, the harder it is to open the package, the better the package is, and the more a part of the figure the package is. Well, if I was going to open it, it would rip my heart out because this package is phenomenal. Now, on the back, there you go, it has the wave that we were talking about. And if you were maybe a completist, you could get all of the ones in the wave, and that's how you might do your collection. But this is our central piece. This is the one that all the other figures in the collection that I've decided to build hinge on. Now, moving along, I have my center He-Man. I want some variants. Now, do I want every variant? No, that's completely up to you, the collector, or me, the collector, to decide. This is your collection or my collection after all. So from there, I wanted some alternate versions of this guy. And the first one I'm going to talk about is Wondar. Now, I'm not going to go into a story. There's plenty of ways to track that down on the internet. But this was one that has a lot of history, and I thought, great variant to the original. It comes with history. It looks close enough that there's a lot of similarities, but there's a lot of differences, so that I'm not actually getting two of the same figure, just slightly different. There's enough difference here to make this something that I wanted to add into my collection. So set these two right here. Now, this is actually the first one I bought for the collection. I actually got it trading with the guy at Retro Reboot, Dan, and this is one of my favorite pieces, the Anti-Eternia He-Man. He's a character, from what I understand, from the German records that told the He-Man stories, and just an interesting piece, and he looked so cool. And actually, when I got him, I had opportunity, I think, to get this exact one. He had both of them, and this one just looks so unique. I went ahead and picked it up first. And one of my last pieces is actually an early Christmas present from my mom. Is this one right here, my Horde Zombie He-Man. He was a a PowerCon exclusive, and I saw him and wanted to get him. Thought about doing the pre-order, didn't have the money, and actually picked him up on the secondary market, which is something that I want to talk about briefly too. When you're getting your collection, it's best to get it when it first comes out. It'll probably be at its cheapest at that point. The secondary market is very useful. There's things like eBay and other collectors you can buy and trade from, stores, but it's often easier to pick up your pieces when they first come out. Most pieces are generally going to go up in value and be a little bit more hard to acquire time and energy and things like that. And before we go, I want to bring kind of a surprise piece. It's not a He-Man, but I would like to explain why it's so important to this collection. It's my Filmation Skeletor, kind of the comparison piece with this particular He-Man. And I got this one. It was my second one in my collection. But if you're going to have a good collection of a character and its variants, it might be good to have his nemesis to kind of balance them out and add some things to the collection. One more thing I want to talk about, and this is totally a choice, as all of it. But some people are completists. They want to collect a certain amount and then stop. But here's another thing to consider. An ever-growing collection is kind of exciting, chasing down that piece that you need for your collection. And there's no difference in this collection. I have one more variant of He-Man that I really want to pick up, and I have my sights on. I'll get him when I find him at a good price and I've got the money at the same time. But it's Faker He-Man. It's this guy right here. You'll see him up on the screen. But he kind of allows my collection to be almost complete, but not complete enough that I'm done. There's still that one more to chase and find. He's relatively easy to pick up on eBay, so I imagine that won't be too hard for me to get a hold of. But there again, secondary market, going to be a little bit more expensive. But the cool thing is, one of the things you have to ask yourself, do I want an ever-growing collection, or do I enjoy being a completist and having all of it and being done and then kind of looking at it? Those are just some simple things to consider when you're creating and building your own collection that are totally up to you, and keep it fun. So we're going to head back over to the Nerd Cave and wrap this episode up. So I'll meet you over there in just a second. I hope this episode of Save Toys was both helpful and enlightening in creating your own custom action figure collection. Because here at Save Toys, we encourage collecting not just action figures and superheroes, but most anything that suits your fancy. And with a special thank you to the Save Toys Premium member, Gerald Mercer, for donating this Ultimate He-Man action figure featured in this episode. Now, you may be asking, what is Save Toys Premium? It's our premium page on Facebook for everybody who has donated action figures to the Save Toys channel for review. It keeps the lights on and the episodes coming your way. Now, you may be wondering, what are some of the perks to being a member of Save Toys Premium? Well, you get all your episodes early there at Save Toys Premium that are featured here on YouTube, but you also get episodes of Save Toys that never even make it to YouTube on Save Toys Premium TV. And you get to vote on upcoming episodes of Save Toys. Now, how do you join? Well, our P.O. Box is Save Toys, P.O. Box 211, Blackshear, Georgia 31516. And if you're interested in donating an action figure to the channel, find me on Facebook at Travis Housley Save Toys. And we really appreciate all the viewers here and all the subscribers to the Save Toys channel. You help make us what we are today. And so until next week, if you like it, collect it. See you then.